It's about the journey, not the destination. Reality is better than imagination. When I feel free, free to be me. When I feel free, free to be me. Gotta be free, gotta be free, gotta be free, gotta be free,
Starryflame was pissed. It was not an emotion that came easily to her. Usually, Starry was to anger what Michael Bay was to subtle storytelling. But today there was no other way to describe the sizzling in her veins. Starryflame, alicorn and self-crowned queen of shipping, was pissed.
I am pissed!
Mm-hmm.
Didn't you hear me?
I heard you.
Then react, damn it!
Illya looked up from his book.
Am I supposed to comfort you, or ask what has rendered you into this adverse emotional state?
Say what?
He sighed. Somewhere in the physical realm, trees slewed sideways.
What response from me would make you leave me alone to read my book?
Starry bristled.
One that takes me bloody seriously!
And that would be...
Ask me why I'm pissed!
Illya closed his eyes in something too long to be a blink, but not long enough to fully communicate what might be called frustration in lesser mortals.
Starryflame,
He pronounced erroneously, placing his book on his chest and steepling his forehoofs together.
I would like to know why you are, pissed.
I'm pissed because it's not fair!
This answer, sadly, did not bring Illya the peace and quiet he had hoped for.
What isn't fair?
It's not fair that it's April!
Oh, you're angry that it's that time of year again where we get sucked into adventures against our will that generally include cursing, sex jokes, poorly written meta-humor, and an author who can't schedule her way out of a paper bag.
No, that's not it at all!
This time Ilya's interest was not feigned.
Oh, then
I'm
what?
pissed because it's April 1st, and so far, not one crazy thing has happened to me at all.
You want to be thrown to the whims of the Aprilverse effect?
I want my storyline to start already!
Illya resisted the urge to pinch the spot between his eyes.
Come again?
I'm supposed to be the villain this year.
You are?
Yes! And yet, it's April 1st, and nothing has happened to make me a villain yet. Thorny got given alicorn powers. Wuten possessed your body, and then there was that whole song about poop sandwiches. The shipping circle that made Goody fall in love with Thornquill. They all had villain stories that were already in effect by now. Where's my dang villain story?
So, you're angry.
Pissed?
You're pissed that you believe it is your turn to be a villain on April 1st, and thus far have been given no indication of motivation for you to become said villain.
Yes!
Oh,
Illya went back to his book.
okay then.
Starry's hair began to smolder.
Don't ignore me!
I'm not ignoring you. I'm hanging on your every turgid word.
Illya replied absently.
I'm not even sure what you just said, but it sounded rude.
Illya did not roll his eyes. He instead captured the full force of alicorny frustration in a simple flicker of his eyeballs in their sockets.
Starry, my dear, do you really think staying here in the alicorn dimension is going to facilitate your vaunted ascension into villainy? Which, I will point out, you have no evidence to support the existence thereof.
Say what?
No pony told you that you're going to be the villain this year. In fact, Scribbler distinctly told you that there would not be a villain storyline for you. But even if she had, would staying home really be the best way to go about being the villain?
For a moment, Starry stood perfectly still. Then, in a blast of light that heralded the appearance of a pair of sunglasses shaped like the eponymous flames on her flanks, she stood on her hind legs and crowed,
Of course! No villain ever stole the best lines of this story by staying home. Illya, you're a genius! I'll leave you a life for that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm totally a villain and I kill ponies and torture them and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But not you, because you have pleased your villainous overlord. Lady. Overlady? No, that sounds wrong. Pony... Mare? Overmare? Wait, no, I think that's from a different subset of the Brony fandom. I said Bony fandom.
Starry,
Huh?
your storyline?
Oh, yeah!
green magical energy swamped the area. When it faded, Illya was alone in the morass of sparkling nothingness with his armchair, his coffee table, and his book. He sighed contentedly and went back to reading. A small green portal appeared next to his ear.
You know, buying cloth that's bound into book form doesn't mean it's still not cloth that you are blatantly reading in front of me, right?
The portal vanished. Illya blushed.
Fucking hell, next year I might be the villain, if only to get some peace and less judgy quiet.
Starry knocked on the cherry-painted wooden door before her. Only afterwards did she realize this was probably not the most villainous thing to do, and she resolved to conjure some flames and things behind her when the occupant opened the door. Except the occupant did not, in fact, open the door.
Starry, I know it's you. Go away.
See what?
I can see you on the security camera.
Starry looked up, meeting the unblinking eye of a small CCTV camera nestled in the upper corner of the doorframe. She waved, thought better of it, and scowled villainously up at the thing instead.
Hello, Scribbler.
What kind of expression is that? Hang on, did you knock on my door because you need the bathroom?
What? No!
You look like you have a desperate need to poop really bad.
No!
Effrontery dangled off Starry's tone.
Well, if you're not desperate for that, go away.
She blinked.
What? Wait, would you have let me in if I did need to, do that?
There was an uncomfortably long pause.
No, you can go in the bushes at the end of the garden.
That's disgusting!
Whatever, fuck off.
But, Scribbler!
There is enough that you need to fuck to, and it is far away from here.
Scribbler, it's April 1st!
Despite her resolution to be as scary and growly as possible, Starry's voice thinned into a petulant whine. Scribbler was unmoved.
I know it is. That's why you need to fuck off. I'm not setting foot outside my door until tomorrow.
What about my storyline?
What the fuck are you talking about?
My villain arc? Goody got one, Wooden got one, Thorny got one! It's my turn!
The bark of laughter was not a heartening noise.
Fuck off, Starry. I told you last time you're not getting a villain storyline.
But that's not fair!
Starry, don't make me use the security system the artists gave me after we got kidnapped and turned into books.
Starry paused.
Say what?
Don't say I didn't warn you!
A whirring, clunking, buzzing, strangely liquid noise filled the air. It clanged through Starry's ears like trying to listen to heavy metal through wet cotton wool, coalescing into dozens of shiny weapons atop articulated metal arms, punching up from the ground along the front of the cheery little cottage. Swords, scimitars, daggers, guns for which she did not know the name, cannons, and even what could only be described as space-age lasers all trained on her. Starry quailed.
Oh, fuck off then!
She squeaked, wrenching open a portal and diving into it. On the other side of the door, behind her artist-reinforced walls, Scribbler slumped into a sigh.
Ugh. Thank Fuck, she didn't call my bluff and realize I didn't put any nasty ammunition in the bloody things.
Starry knocked on the door more tentatively this time. It opened a few moments later.
No.
Magpie said bluntly.
You don't even know what I'm gonna ask.
I read the previous scene. The answer is no.
You... what?
Nope. I'm not going to use my author powers to take control of this narrative from the author and write you a villain arc.
Aw, but why not?
Magpie held up a hoof.
1, I spent 2 years as a book on a dusty shelf the last time April rolled around, and it wasn't even a good porno.
She held up another hoof.
2, I just don't want to.
She held up yet another hoof.
3, Scribbler would kill me, and then Lost would kill her, and then I'd be made undead by the power of love, and it'd become a zombie apocalypse.
Yet another hoof.
And 4, I already promised the love of my life that I would listen intently to her talk about keyboards. Again. And how she has a mechanical one with a non-membrane. Oh, and did you know that they need lube? Because they need lube, otherwise the click will sound like a clack. Oh, and on top of that, we need $50 new keycaps every month or so because her keyboard needs to change its outfit.
Starry stared.
How are you standing up right now?
No, Starry. The answer is no.
Oh, but...
Sharply, the door opened wider, revealing a creature of balefire, bottomless red eyes, and edgy wisps of magic so dark and demonic it defied distinction. The merest wisp of a cape, more an impression than a solid thing, fluttered around the fleshless shoulders in the wind that was not there. Magic as corrupt as the death rattle of a pony poisoned by their best friend leaked from the creature's mouth when it spoke.
Fuck off.
Starry fell back, curling into herself with a whimper. Bone-deep terror delved in and through her, cleaving down to what felt like her very soul with the urge to run.
Fuck off.
Magpie patted the apparition on the head.
It's okay, love. Starry was just leaving. Weren't you, Starry?
She turned to smile on the trembling orange alicorn.
If you come back before April 2nd, I will rend your flesh from your bones, pop your eyes inside your skull, shatter your hooves, and make you walk your pitiful soul to a narrative hellscape from which you will know no relief until someone rescues you.
Losty.
Magpie chastised. The apparition vibrated, as if having to physically reel in something only it could see. Then suddenly it was gone. Starry blinked up to where it had been, gawping. She hadn't looked away. She knew she hadn't. And yet...
We are talking keyboards today.
Lost gritted out every word with the antipathy of someone holding back her temper with all four hooves and a cattle prod.
You promised.
Well, you're talking. I don't know if I can guarantee that I'm listening, but I always keep my promises most of the time. So go wait inside, and I'll finish up here and be there in a minute.
Magpie smiled. Lost shot Starry a threatening glower and retreated inside their house. A shiver traced the length of Starry's spine. She gulped.
Need a hoof?
She got shakily to her hooves.
No, I'm okay. Is she...
Oh, don't ask. This time of year makes her a little testy. To be honest, if she hadn't already chronicled it, I wouldn't be surprised if she had the next villain arc, not you.
That is a terrifying thought.
It's meant to be.
Magpie twinkled her hoof in a wave.
See ya, Starry. I suggest you give up on this crazy idea and find something more productive to do with your day. Like, listen to keyboard stuff again.
Starry did not even manage to knock the next door. It opened before she even raised her hoof.
No.
Said Sunny.
No.
Said Cloud, peering around her.
No.
Said Panda from her other side. In one fluid motion, the three of them simultaneously slammed the door in her face.
I didn't even get to make a joke about your name changes, Sunny Honey Mommy.
No!
Dang it!
The bright green of Starry's portal seemed ludicrously obscene in the all-encompassing black of the archive. She stepped out, half expecting to need her wings, but her hooves met tangible floor. She looked around, gaze settling on the huge chain double door sitting complacently in the middle of the nothingness. Or maybe in the left of the nothingness. The north of the nothingness? The southeast of nothingness? Look, it's nothingness, okay? Directions are a bit moot here. One syllable was all it took. The darkness swelled, bulging upwards next to her. She jumped away from it, just in time to see a pair of white-hot eyes slide into view at the uppermost point of the swell. They crackled with polite but immutable fury. Something resembling a spiky mane fluffed above them, identifying their owner.
Hi, Cygnus.
Starry waved meekly.
I was just checking on Thornquill. I'll see myself out.
After her portal closed, the nothingness returned to its dark tranquility. Starry would have knocked on the door to Luna Farrow's castle, but she was momentarily distracted by the fucking big pumpkin dragon that had appeared out of nowhere and decided that she was a tasty treat. And yes, you heard right. A pumpkin dragon. Replete with a hard orange exoskeleton, plated vine wings, and claws longer than her whole body from horn to tail tip.
Mr. Snuggles!
Somewhere behind her, Starry heard Luna's dulcet tones adopt a tone that was more annoyed than horrified.
She's not a peach. Not all small fuzzy orange things are peaches.
He really does like peaches, doesn't he?
Starry really did not like the amusement that laced Goody's tone. Nor did she like how the pumpkin dragon was so close behind her that she could not hope to open a portal without accidentally bringing him with her into the Alicorn realm.
Somebody save me!
She cried, banking a hard but disappointing left turn that the pumpkin dragon matched with ease despite its enormous size.
He's not dangerous.
Luna called down from the castle battlements.
He's a big old softy, really. He just thinks you're a fruit.
I cannot begin to tell you how offensive that is!
Starry yelled back.
No, he literally thinks you're a piece of fruit. He loves peaches, and to him you look like a tasty snack.
Well, call him off then!
Aw, but if you keep flying like that, I won't need to take him for walkies today.
You still need to take him.
Goody corrected.
You know he only goes poops into the nether realms.
Someday I'll get him litterbox trained.
Luna sighed and let out a screech that halted the pumpkin dragon in its tracks. It whirled around and landed at the end of the castle walls, wagging its wooden tail and panting with a tongue comprised entirely of seeds. Luna launched herself into the air and hovered around its midsection, rubbing the orange hide with both forehooves.
Good boy, who's a good boy? You're a good boy, yes you are, yes you are. You're Mummy's snuggly boy, aren't you?
Starry stared at the bizarre scene.
How the heck did Thornquill manage to capture you when you can do stuff like that?
The element of surprise and plot convenience.
Luna replied blithely.
Was there something you wanted, Starry? It's just, Gooty and I do have to take Mr. Snuggles for a walk, and he does get terribly cranky if he doesn't get to go poop on time.
Starry stared up at the implacable beast. Mr. Snuggles gazed back down at her with yellow eyes that reminded her a little too much of Lost's. She gulped.
You know what? I'm just gonna go.
Luna's smile showed fangs.
Very good, then.
Lovely to see you!
Goody held up his elegant wine glass and blew a kiss from a spot on the battlements.
Happy April 1st!
Dragons, are you kidding me?
Starry's portal closed on her muttering grumbling. Neighrator opened the door. Starry smiled hopefully.
No.
You don't even give me a chance to tell you why I'm here. I could be here for Kaylee.
I don't need to. The answer is no.
But...
Nope.
Can I just...
Nope.
Will you just talk to Scribbler?
Definitely no.
But it's not fair.
Starry, if you try to tell me that it's not fair that you don't get to be the villain this year, I swear I will get Xena on the phone right now to come fetch you.
Starry's ears plastered back along her skull.
Please don't.
Narrator nodded.
We all spent a weirdly compressed 24 months as books, Starry. Well, narratively, it was only like a couple of days, but the author fucked things up, and in actuality, we were books for 2 years. We all just want a quiet April 1st this time around.
But that's not the tradition.
Starry pouted.
I need someone to write me an arc where I'm not the ditzy screw-up who thinks about nothing but shipping.
Do you think of anything besides shipping?
Of course I do.
Starry beamed.
I think about burning things.
Narrator blinked at her slowly.
I'm gonna go back inside now.
She threw out a foreleg to stop him.
No, wait, please. Talk to Scribbler for me. Please.
No.
Why not?
Because I want a quiet April this year too. I'm sick of being the replacement butt monkey now that Thorny is safe in the negative zone from this vindictive author's whims.
Narrator bristled, his mane standing on end. His voice rose as he went on.
I would like very much not to be bashed, blasted, blitzed, brained, body swapped, bumped off, embookened, bonked on the bonks, captured, caught, cudgeled, damaged, damseled, endangered, enchanted, ensorcelled, flattered, flailed, jeopardized, jabbed, levitated, lambasted, lobbed, smushed, squashed, squished, socked on the kisser, threatened, thwacked, thrashed, trashed, thumped, tormented, imperiled, pulverized, punished, pummeled, pinched, punched, paddled, purged, pounded, punctured, or otherwise popped out of existence this year.
His chest heaved in long, oxygen-rich pants.
Feel better?
Yes!
Narrator bellowed and slammed the door on her.
I feel fucking phenomenal. Thank you for asking.
There were days when the author wondered why she'd ever started this endeavor. It was stressful, laborious, and tended to show her inability to manage time and/or be funny. The whiff of desperation and trying too hard clung to the narrator as Starryflame crept up to the door of the pretty pink cottage, whose thatch was covered with plastic stars clearly meant to glow in the dark come nighttime. She knocked carefully, drawing herself up tall so as to seem less a coward when the door opened.
Moo!
She said chirpily.
I'm not a coward. Hi!
Are you looking for Wuten?
Starry blinked at the star-spangled mare in the doorway. Like most ponies, she was several inches taller than Starry. Unlike most ponies, she carried herself with an air that could only be described as amatory, even when only doing nothing more than standing still and narrowing her eyes in a wholly suspicious way.
What does tree? What does that mean?
Shush, Starry. I'm trying to be delicate about her appearance. The star-spangled mare preened a little at the narrator's dashing avoidance of a social faux pas.
Say what?
I said shush, Starry. The mare glared at the little orange alicorn.
No.
She said bluntly.
Huh?
No.
Huh?
No, you're not dragging Wuten into another April shenanigan.
But
I'm his girlfriend, and for today, his protector from you ponies and your yearly bullshit.
But
do you know what happened after last year's finale? He hid under the bed for a month. A month! He still jumps at the sound of Scribbler's voice and loud noises, which, come to think of it, are the same thing, but still. The answer is no. I don't want you within 50 feet of him until April 2nd.
Cressy?
Quavered a voice from deeper inside the cottage.
Who's at the door?
Hi, Wuten!
Starry called perkily. She beamed and waved in case he could see her from wherever he was hiding.
Oh god, Starryflame, no!
Wuten's response cracked the air like a whip.
It's starting! Cressy, it's starting again! Don't let them take me!
No, it's not, honey.
The now identified Crescendo Galaxy called lovingly over her shoulder. Then she turned to Starry with an expression so thunderous, it produced a small crackle of lightning from her mane.
Go, now, while you can still walk.
But
her voice dropped to a low growl. Stars danced in her eyes, the kind that fall to earth and become meteors that wipe out dinosaurs.
While you can still walk.
Starry gulped and left while she could still walk. Starry flinched and squinted her eyes up at the crack in the opening door. Though she did not mean to, she cringed backward, expecting the worst.
Starryflame?
She unsquinched one eye.
Hello?
Why do you look so scared?
Midori tilted her head to one side. It was entirely too adorable, like a kitten watching a dancy fuzzy toy mouse on a string. Reflexively, her forehoof went out to an ankh around her neck, but, finding it still safely there, she instead used the hoof to gesture inside.
Would you like a cup of tea?
Starry decided to forego protestations that epically villainous villains don't partake of polite cups of tea, and instead gave an anemic smile.
Yes, please.
Midori settled the lid on the teapot before lifting it to pour.
So let me get this straight. You want to be the villain this year?
Yes.
Starry said tiredly.
But why? Sorry, but I just don't get it.
Because it's fair dos.
Fair dues?
Yeah, like, it's my turn, you know?
About that. Did the author actually promise you could be the villain at any point?
Well, no.
In fact, wasn't there a whole skit last year about you not being allowed to be the villain at all? Like, ever?
Well, yeah, but Scribbler also said I couldn't have a meta storyline either, and we're literally doing that right now.
Midori grimaced.
Touché.
On the winds, a cantankerous lemony horse voice shouted,
That's my line! I don't know why it's my line, but it's my line!
Midori blinked.
Every time I think I'm used to living in this town...
She shook it off and pushed the teacup and delicate saucer across the table to Starry. It was covered in tiny filigree roses and edges in gold. Starry wondered if it was in fact too delicate for her to even pick up. Images of it shattering against the floor and Midori's hurt feelings flashed through her mind, and her heart involuntarily gave a precognizant ache. Her dry throat promptly kicking her uvula said she had better pick it up pronto, and so she complied. Uvula? I am really hoping that means a little dangly fleshy thing at the back of the throat, not any other fleshy thing, or I am very much regretting narrating this. Will said it would be fun. I'm not sure I believe him.
Excuse me? Excuse me?
What?
Can we get back to the narrative?
Oh, right. Yeah, sorry. Mental images from that last line.
What kind of mental images?
Moving on. Starry sat back in her chair smugly.
See?
She gestured vaguely at the ceiling.
I got my meta storyline.
Midori looked around them suspiciously.
This doesn't sound like the last time I heard someone narrating our lives. Last time the guy sounded really peppy and sprightly.
Hey, I can be peppy and sprightly.
Can you, though?
I can breathe pep and bleed sprightliness if I want.
Please don't bleed on my new carpet.
You can't tell me what to do.
I can in my own home. Yep. We lived in my salad. Smell around it here and no monster. I'm a salad. Y'all nice, is it?
Midori, are you arguing with the narrator?
Well, he started it.
I did not.
Did too.
Did not.
Did too.
Did not.
Did too.
Did not.
Did too.
Did not, did not, did not.
Did too, did too, did too.
Did not, did not, did not.
Did too, did too, did too.
You know what? Thank you for the tea, but I'm going to go.
Did too with bells on.
Bye, Midori. Bye, narrator, I guess.
Oh, hang on, I have to go with you. You're the protagonist. And with that, the narrator left Midori in the total defeat because he absolutely won that argument that he wasn't the peppiest, sprightliest, coolest, bestest narrator to ever narrate one of these yearly bits of stupidity.
Hey!
Goombasa leaned in through the door to the TV room.
Everything okay in here, sweetie?
Midori folded her forelegs and scowled.
Goomy, you know what you said last April about yearly cycles in this town?
He sighed.
I'll get the comfort pie.
Get two. I'm peeved.
He froze.
You're, not going to try to be the next villain of April 1st, are you?
What do you take me for?
He paused before nodding.
You're right. You're far too Midorable for that.
She threw a scone at his head.
I just don't know what to do.
Starry towed the dirt outside Goombasa and Midori's cottage.
I've talked to everyone, even people off screen whose voices were otherwise engaged for actually recording this year.
She blinked.
Say what?
Sorry, a bit of narrative exposition to explain why Aprilverse has a rolling cast and very rarely ever mentions why certain members of it don't appear every year, or even have many lines, or do anything of any narrative value when they do appear.
Hi.
I continue to be awesome!
Hi, I'm a cameo! Oh my god, it's such a fucking cameo.
Starryflame paused to consider all of this, and then did the sensible thing. She pushed it all into a box in her head, locked the box, and snapped the key off in the lock. She continued to sigh.
I could totally be a good villain if only someone would let me. I am the fear after all.
Yet despite all of her great efforts, she had only been thwarted by everyone who could possibly have made her dream a reality. Starryflame truly was destined to be a cute, adorable, sweet, delightful, lovable, endearing, charming, agreeable, pleasant, congenial, affable, and altogether fuzzy-wuzzy bundle of adorability for the rest of her days. It was just the way things were, and no matter how much she fought it or proclaimed herself to be otherwise, no pony would ever take her seriously as a dastardly villain of the day. She was just too cute.
No!
Excuse me?
No! I can't stand it anymore! I'm not cute and sweet and crunchy. What's it? Whatever it was you said! I am a capable, smart, strong, independent woman. I mean, pony who don't need no man. Narrator! I don't need any pony to narrate my story and tell me I can't be the villain.
You're saying you don't need someone to narrate your story of becoming a villain?
No, I don't. And you know why?
No, why?
Because I'm gonna sing it instead!
Oh, Lord.
I'm not a damsel in distress. I'm not a cute and sweet alicorn princess. I'm not a little bird who needs your help to fly. No, I'm the bad guy. All these April villains that you've seen, each of them possessed of greed and yeah, their own fiend. But now's the time for Starryflame to shine. Give clams a try. I'm the bad guy. It's a staple to get to April, matter that satisfies. Oh, so thrilling to be a villain. I burn all your homes and then I'll watch you cry.
'Cause you're the bad guy? You know, Starry, it's really no measure of your worth whether you're cute or scary or a hero or a villain or anything. The measure of a pony is their underlying character the whole year, not just one crazy day.
Ooh, ain't it fantastic? I see something, I blast it! And let me tell you, I've always had a weakness for burness and bleakness. I crushed all your hopes and then I watch you cry. See, I find this villain stuff rather fun. I don't want your assistance or your adulation. I'll cremate your narrative and bitch up my why? Come on, guess!
'Cause you're the bad guy.
Or, well, girl.
No.
You expected Starry to be your villain this year? Too bad. It was me, Dio. I mean, Silver Quill. Ow.
Fucking no.
Aw,
I'm a cameo!
Give my life color. You give my life color, color, color. You give my life color.
Oi, Scribbler! I thought this next part in the series was supposed to be the live recording from BronyCon.
What the fuck? Solar, what the actual fuck? You haven't even appeared in these things since 2017, and now you pop up in this stupid cameo and give me this bullshit? I know that the BronyCon video is supposed to be the next one. You think I don't know that? Of course I fucking know that. I'm crap at timing, okay? I reference it all the cunting time in the narrative. No! Fuck you all! Fuck every single last irksome bloody one of you! It would serve you all right if I became the villain next year. I just...
Because I want a quiet April this year. I'm sick of being the replacement butt monkey. Now Thorny is safe in the negative zone from this vindictive author's whim. I would very much not like to be bashed, blasted, blitz-brained, body-swap, bumped off, and bookend, bonked on the bonds, captured, caught, cudgeled, damaged, damseled, endangered, enchanted, ensorcelled, flattened, flailed, jeopardized, jabbed, levitated, lambasted, lobbed, smushed, squished, squashed, sucked in the kisser, threatened, thwacked, thrashed, trashed, thumped, tormented, imperiled, pulverized, punished, pummeled, pinch, punch, paddled, purged, pounded, punctured, or otherwise popped out of existence this year! Yes! I feel fucking phenomenal! Thank you for asking.
Give my life color. You give my life color, color, color. You give my life color, color. Give my life color. You give my life color, color, color. You give my life color, color, yeah. What you do, you give me yellow eyes and orange skies. Red, I'm seeing red. I'm riding violet waves away from yesterday. Feels like I've known you for a lifetime. Give my life color. You give my life color, color, color. You give my life color, color. Give my life color. You give my life color, color, color. You give my life color, color, yeah. Blue is what you do. You give me yellow eyes and orange skies. Red, I'm seeing red. I'm riding violet waves away from yesterday. Feels like I've known you for a lifetime. Give my life color. You give my life color, color, color. You give my life color.